Spring is finally here. As the last bits of winter dissipate, we open our doors and prepare to start enjoying the world outside once again. The only part of hibernation that we refuse to leave behind is the non-stop snacking. So fear not, because the hope of spring comes with the hope for more delicious treats. Let's dive right in now on You Tried Dat! You Tried Dat! I'm Nick Novak, the pals. Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hello.
All right, spring, guys. The flowers are in bloom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clocks are changed, I think, right, by now?
Are they getting rid of sooner or later they're getting rid of the daylight savings?
The clock change, yeah. It's like in motion, but moving at a glacial pace like every fucking thing in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these Time Lords over here trying to get rid of the change.
I fucking hate the change. I hate the change. I could go on for like a whole 60-minute episode about how much
But you get an extra hour, man.
Until
you
don't.
Sleep one extra hour.
Right. Well, with the warm weather coming, we're going to be firing up our grills and having some barbecues. So,
yeah.
Chad, you looking forward to that?
Well, I missed it, actually. I missed the barbecue party. So, I got just to explain, I got a text message this morning from a number that is not in my phone that I've never seen before. I'm going to read you guys that text message right now. And then I have a question for you. So the text message says, "Hello, period. Why didn't you come to my house yesterday afternoon? Question mark. We had a BBQ party." So at this point, I'm like, all right, I gotta make a good reply to this, right? So, first of all, I want to ask, like, what would you guys, do you guys know what you would do? Would you just ignore it? Would you try to come up with like a reply, continue the conversation? Would you just reply, "You got the wrong number"? What do you think?
I would go with my like 95% of the time reply to a missed text, which I mentioned before, which is a Pavarotti meme of him singing, saying, "If opera was easy, they would call it your mom."
That's pretty good. Geiger, what do you think? What did you do?
Hold on. Is that why you keep sending that to me every time I text it to you?
Is Geiger not in your phone?
I'm in your fucking phone, damn it.
Then his name your name in his phone is just reply with Pavarotti meme.
It's just the picture icon is just the Pavarotti face. No, like I would probably ignore it because I assume all of those are like trying to make sure that I'm an actual person to send me some spam because I get all kinds of spam texts of like, your Amazon account is locked out.
Yeah.
Click on this link to unlock it and stuff like that. So I assume if I don't know you and you don't say anything, like, once in a while it'll be like one of Jake's friend's parents that texted me at some party or whatever, or a softball guy that I don't have, like my, whatever. But generally, if you don't say some identifying thing or your number I have, I'm just ignoring you or deleting.
You've paid a lot to keep getting your Amazon account unlocked too.
I am almost drained of funds. It's amazing. They charge. Do you believe they charge $10,000 every time to get your Amazon account unlocked? It's an awful lot just to watch fucking The Incredibles or whatever.
The Incredibles is on Amazon.
I picked the one thing that's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, classic Disney Pixar movie.
Look, man, I don't know what's on there anymore. I can't get in. I'm out of money.
If I want to watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, I gotta have that Amazon account. Well, so I wasn't sure what to reply, and I was kind of in the middle of like dealing with like a sick kid. So I just like sent the text, screenshot of the text out to a couple of my friends to solicit suggestions on how to reply. One of them said I should reply like, "How dare you? You know I'm a vegan." Which I thought was pretty good. But the one I ended up using actually came from a friend of the podcast, the Drop King, Robert Persinger. Here was his suggestion. And this is what I ended up replying. I said, yesterday was my big barbecue party, and I'm honestly upset you had yours on the same day.
Oh, nice.
Did they respond back?
They responded back with LOL. So I think at that point, they realized that it was that they had the wrong number.
Right.
But I was kind of hoping I could like carry it on for 6 or 7 more texts and like maybe ruin a friendship somewhere out there in the ether, But didn't pan out that way.
Mm-hmm.
You should have tried to get to ask him if he wanted you to come over for dinner to make up for it.
Oh, sorry, man. I can come over tonight. You want to boil some lobster for me? And then have him go out and buy a bunch of lobster, and then I never show.
Is that what you do? You tell someone I want some really expensive food and they have to make it for you?
I'll come over. You get the Kobe beef, and I'll bring my presents.
You give me lobster, I'll unlock your Amazon account. Yeah, do you guys know udon?
Yeah, udon noodles.
No, that too. But there's so my girls are in orchestra at school, and there's some like virtuoso kid there named Daniel who will we go to the concert, and most of the other kids look like they are learning to play instruments, like the bow, just sort of back and forth and sharp angles, and this kid is as graceful as a gazelle with that violin.
Is he just standing up there and he's in the middle of everyone and he's got a big smile on his face saying, if violin was easy, it'd be your mom?
And the girl said in class, the teacher said, who's the best musician in the class? And they all yelled, Daniel. And then she just as a joke goes, and who's the worst? And expect them to say nothing. And all the kids yelled, udon!
Oh, shit.
So
that's
I
terrible.
said, what's the deal with udon? And they said, well, he once played his viola for an entire week with no bow.
Like a guitar? Or something, just drumming
Does
it?
he not know how to do
They
it?
said he just sat there waving his hand back and forth and nothing, playing no music.
Oh, did he lose it, or he just?
And then the teacher said,
didn't know?
"Where's your bow?" Not
Yeah.
because the 5th day, and he just said, "It's in the shop."
Hold on.
Oh,
What kind of attentive music teacher took 5 days to realize he didn't have an actual instrument that he was playing?
I guess they're wondering why it was sounding so good because udon.
Udon really blended in. We went to my son had a band concert last night too. He plays the baritone, and they had 2 bands there. And in our experience, I don't know if it's the same with Vac, where it's like an hour-long concert. It is 50 minutes of just the teachers fucking talking and maybe 10 minutes of hot cross buns, and then they fucking leave.
They're introducing the
it's and the program's been great this year, and we really appreciate everyone. Okay, here's Frere Jacques for 30 seconds. Isn't that great, everybody? Okay. So they invite this lady out last night, and she was like, all right. And it's a speech about how vital music was to her kid, I guess. But the story was her kid tried to join the band, and then she wanted to try out for the good band. She made it, and she thought she was great at playing, so she stopped practicing, and then she didn't make it. And she was really upset, and I told her, you didn't practice. And then she took private lessons and still wasn't practicing. I said, you got to keep trying or you won't make the band. I said, you just weren't good enough. And I'm looking at this other guy what's going on? I'm not kidding. This story took 20 minutes. And it was and then she put down the instrument, and then she picked it up, and then she put it down. What the fuck is happening?
Was she reading it off? Did she type the speech up?
She might as well have been. And it took 20 minutes. And the ultimate story was she practiced more and made the band again. She made the fucking 6th grade band. Who gives a shit?
I don't care how many times she picked up and put down her instrument.
Well, and then it was so you should really buy lessons. That was the story. I'm are you fucking for real? I was I could have been home half an hour earlier.
Please buy them from me. I need some more money to unlock my Amazon account.
This means nothing. We have udon in this goddamn band. He's just holding his hands like a saxophone.
Fucking udon made the band. He's just drumming in the air.
Slapping his knees.
It was brutal.
That sounds
Yeah.
fucking awful. I pretty much hope that my kids never do any activities. Like, just be like me, come home, sit in front of the TV or video games all day so I don't ever have to go watch shit. That's a dream right there.
There we
That's
go.
what I want. Gonna discourage my kids from all activities.
All right, let's get some. Let's get.
And
started
I
with these
said if you
snacks.
wanted to beat Tetris level 71, you gotta practice.
And then she put down the controller, she picked it up, she put it down, she picked it up.
We have 3 snacks.
Yep.
I was waiting in case I knew I was going to.
There's definitely one of these snacks that I'm going to be picking up and putting down and picking up and putting down because I'm
Right.
really afraid to eat it.
I would say one of these isn't a snack. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right up front.
You don't think goo in a clay pot is a snack?
No, I don't
How
know
dare
one
you.
person who would eat this as a snack.
I mean, it came wrapped in saran wrap with a rubber band holding it together. What doesn't say snack
There's
about a
not
rubber
even
band
like a
holding it?
product name on it. This could be somebody made this by hand. I don't fucking know.
I've got
All
the
right.
product.
Oh,
We're
okay,
eating it- We're
okay.
eating it last, so
Ugh.
we're gonna wait.
All right.
Like
you got
before I
3
die.
snacks, a 5-point scale. Love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. And these again, if you listened to last episode, are from Chad's brother David, and he got them in Mexico, or from a family who.
Ready your hate tats, gents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one's actually this Mexican Doritos. Let's start with those.
This I can get behind.
Yeah, it looks very much. The packaging looks a lot like the packaging that we see here in the States. Just has a big mas producto.
And it is
And-
nacho cheese flavor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does also say at top, like Geiger had mentioned last week, has exceso calorías.
An exceso sodio. Too much salt. Do you have the paper, Novak, with what Dave wrote?
No.
Oh, I think I remember him saying that these that they tasted different to him from
Yeah.
American nacho cheese Dorito. But it's been a long time since I've had a nacho cheese Dorito, so I'm not sure.
So Dorito is actually Spanish for little golden things. So maybe it's more appropriate that they're from Mexico. I don't know. They're a little spicier, right?
They are a tiny bit spicier. There's like a little right at the end in the
Yeah.
aftertaste.
But nacho cheese normally aren't spicy, right? Or are they?
Right. No.
The chip is different.
Yeah.
It still just tastes like a different type of tortilla chip.
I don't know if it's stale or not. Maybe that might be it, but it is like crunchier.
Yeah, is it like heartier, like kind of thicker
Yeah.
almost? They don't put up with bullshit weak ass chips down there.
No.
No. What do you think?
Well, you guys know me. I'm Mr. Chip.
You
And I
are.
love Doritos. My all-time favorite chip of all time, that's so good I said it twice, is Cool Ranch Doritos. Cool Ranch Little Golden Things.
They're great.
American.
The
version.
Right. I've never had the Mexican version. These are really good. I like these a lot. They're super tasty. I like the little spice to them. It's not like your tongue's flame. It's not like flaming hot Doritos or something. It's not like your tongue's on fire, but it's just enough kick to make it interesting. And it's to me, it's better than a regular nacho cheese, like American version, where it's just kind of that bland cheese flavor. And I like that it's a heartier chip. I like it's like more of a crunch. It's satisfying to me. I love these. These are really good.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Right out of the gate.
That the flavor's really good.
Yeah.
Wait, is an American nacho cheese a love for you or no? Love that.
Yeah, maybe it's a strong like that. I know that, but I don't know if I love them.
So you like these better for sure.
It's hard for me to say I love them because I love the Cool Ranch so much better. But
So you like
yeah,
never get nachos, basically.
no, it's bought like for me at a party.
Yeah.
Chad, how you feel?
I definitely don't love that.
Yeah, I figured.
But I will say I like this this consistency and this texture of chip. I like that it's a little bit heartier like that, a little bit crunchier. That makes me feel like it's not quite as shittily made as like most American snacks probably. And I do like the flavor. I don't love that little bit of spice. I know it's barely anything, Even I say it's like barely any spice, but it does come in and it makes me want to stop eating it after like 5-6 chips. Um, I can't quite even get to like that for these. I am going to go high level indifferent to that. I think they're pretty good. I just wish they didn't have that little kick at the end.
I'm gonna agree with Geiger in that I think these are significantly better than the U.S. Dorito for all the aforementioned reasons. The thicker chip, the little spice that is good in a way that we mentioned. It's not a blowout your palate spice. It just adds a little something to the chip. Um, I wonder why the difference. I don't know if just like they test these in the American market and it doesn't fly. The spice is not welcomed, but
Probably the opposite. Probably they like took the American version down to Mexico, and the Mexican
Yeah.
people were like, "What is this garbage?"
Alright. So I'm actually going to give these a real solid like that. I could see
Nice.
myself with this type of chip, like a Cool Ranch flavor or some other flavor, getting a love from like this texture and spice level. But I'm going to give it a like. So we have a love, a like, and an indifferent. Very strong start. Next, let's go to the Nopalia Chile Limon Choritos Hechos con Nopal Fresco. A lot of words there.
These also have excessive calorie, salt, but no gluten. They're gluten free.
Mm.
It says sin gluten. They look like little worms.
Dude, they look like mealworms.
Oi, 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 oi. Ooh,
Whoa, that lime comes in.
That is-
Holy cow.
tart.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Oh. Oi. Ah.
Oh.
Oh. I'm glad I don't have any open sores in my mouth. Holy shit.
Now
I
the
I
American
do
side
have
of us
one.
comes out.
I do have an open sore in my mouth, and it fucking hurts right now.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Wah.
It is. I mean, there is flavor to it, though.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you feel like that's accurate? The chili limon.
I mean, I taste that lime for sure. It's like biting down on a fucking lime.
Yeah.
You know, like that lime and that tartness hits you. I don't know, but the chili, I guess it is kind of spicy a little bit.
Yikes! Who could eat this bag?
Oh.
All right, Chad, you're up first.
The only positive thing that I can say is I actually did kind of think this was an interesting form factor, and they're nice and crunchy, you know. So maybe like a different flavor of this, I could get on board with. But these things are truly disgusting, like so sour, like so they just hit you in the mouth right away. I couldn't even get past the second one. Really, really gross for me, and too spicy. I'm gonna give these a hate that.
I wish it was toned down
Yes,
about 8 or 9 notches.
like 80 or 90%.
Because I do think the flavor itself could be decent, and I wouldn't actually mind like some of the tartness if there was just a little bit of it. If it was there in the same way that the spice was there in those Doritos.
Yeah.
But it is way too powerful for, this is the product that they started in Mexico and did not pass the American taste test audience. It's a little too much for me. I'm going to give it a dislike that. Geiger, are you with us?
This thing fucking sucks. I don't like the taste. It is, like you guys have said it is so mouth-puckeringly sour. And Chad, I don't like the form factor. That weird crumbly. I guess if it was just a curlicue, that'd be fine. But it's got that weird crumbly, like sandy texture to it. That's like you're like eating a mushier Cheeto that I cannot stand. I don't like that at all. It's kind of like a dustier cheese puff wrapped in citrus, and it's awful.
Right.
I don't like it. I am giving this a hate or a dislike. Would you guys give it?
I gave it a hate, and Novak gave it a dislike, and you just fucking railed against it.
Yeah,
like it was one of the worst things you've ever eaten.
I got it. My initial reaction was to throw the bag down and recoil, so I'm going to give it a hate that. This is bad.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 hates and a dislike. That's, potential to be seen at the end of the year with a score like that. Doritos easily in the lead, but
it could still very well be in second place, however.
It may not lose this episode because an unlabeled clay pot full of tamarind, stones, and twigs is coming up. So coming up this week, as you know, is going to be one of the most fun holidays of the year, April Fools. All right, everyone loves April Fools. Chad loves a good April Fools.
All the funniest people come out of April Fools.
Right. So today we're going to look at some April Fools pranks in a You Tried Dat segment that we did do once before. The theme here is pranks that went a little too far. All right, so we got a new rating system for this time around that was suggested by a listener of ours who I talked to. And it's the rating system that you're going to choose from as I read the story is, was this prank cruel-ish? All right, that's the lowest ranking. Was it cruel-ish?
Okay.
Was it, if it's the middle, you'll say it was just foolish, right? And if it's a really good prank, even though it might have gone too far, but you thought it was clever, then you're going to say it was coolish. Right? So those are your choices. Coolish.
Two of those didn't need the ish. You could have gone the other way, but all right.
So an example of one, I'm not going to rate this one, might be something like this. This is just to whet your palate. So a friend kept trying to steal sushi off my plate at a sushi restaurant. While she wasn't looking, I stuffed it full of wasabi and put a bit of fish back on top to cover my tracks. Pretended not to be looking when she came back.
Funny.
She tossed it in her mouth, started chewing, and realized she'd fucked up. 5 minutes later, she was coughing, and copious amounts of water later, she learned her lesson. All right, so
she learned
like
her lesson was that you're a fucking dick. She learned her lesson. Don't be friends with me. That's the lesson she learned.
5 seconds later, I put her in her place.
Don't walk away when you are near me. All right. So here's the first one. It says, it's kind of a short one. One time I put both of the pizzas in one box and handed my dad the empty box. He told me to quit fucking around and to put it back. I did.
So he just stacked one pizza on top of the other.
Ordered 2 pizzas, put them in one box, gave Dad the empty box.
Was quickly told to quit being a fuckhead by his stern father.
So, Guy, what do you think of this prank? Is this kind of a coolish prank?
No, it's pretty lame. Not only that, but you're kind of ruining potentially both of the pizzas, right?
Potentially,
like
yes, yeah.
Squishing one, making the other all misshapen as you transfer it back to original box.
Mm-hmm.
If they're different toppings, you're getting like parts of the one topping onto the other pizza.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Quit fucking around.
Yeah, the payoff is in 2 parts. A, what's the payoff? You open it up and go, ha ha ha, they're both in one box. Or B, like your dad is clearly not funny and has no like sense of humor. So this is like you handing your army drill sergeant dad 2 pizzas in one box and going, fuckhead, put it back. So I am gonna say this is foolish was the regular one. What's the bad one?
Yeah, cruelish. It's not really cruel. That's the thing.
Oh, okay. Cruel meaning harm. Yeah, it's just foolish. It's like meh. It's okay.
Yeah. Chad, you agree?
I mean, it could be. It's cruel to the pizza.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
to the pizza.
Ruin everyone's dinner.
But it definitely seems like this guy learned his lesson pretty quick, which was don't stop fucking around, you idiot. Yeah, this is definitely not cool. I'm with Geiger. This is foolish. Stupid.
Okay.
Bad prank.
So here's the next one. Recently, while looking to purchase speakers, I headed to a Best Buy where I tested some Bluetooth models using my phone.
Bluetooth.
Then I had a hilarious idea. I would stand at a distance and play fart noises on my phone through the speaker.
Ooh, all right. Now we're talking.
No one would know I was the one causing the racket. I walked 15 meters away and found a track on Spotify. It was called Fart Sounds / over 1,000 farts. So I knew it must be good stuff.
I need to know, is this 1,000 unique farts or the same fart 1,000 times repeated?
When I pushed play, nothing happened, so I moved closer, assuming I was out of range. Turns out there was a 20-second delay before the first noise. I was standing directly in front of the speaker when it produced a thundering sound. Everyone looked at me. I darted out of Best Buy and drove home with no speakers. All right. So, Chad, what do you think of this 100,000 fart noises break?
This is pretty funny. I like this one both because I like where his head was at, you know?
Yeah, right in front of a speaker full of farts.
Right. Like, I think that's actually like a pretty funny idea. Like, if they had pulled it off, that could have been like a pretty funny prank, you know, people looking around like, what?
I mean, pulled it off.
If we pulled it off.
Imagine if we could have pulled that.
It needs, it's like the Ocean's 11 heist and this fart are like the two things that you need to pull off. But it is also kind of funny that he learned his lesson there by the speaker right into his ear as he's standing there. So I'm gonna go coolish on this one. I like it.
Geyer, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is the best kind of prank because there's no victim. It's not at anyone's expense, other than this guy, I guess, on accident. But I mean, like, if you had just walked away and let the speaker fart, everyone would laugh, but it's no one like you're making fun of, unless I guess someone else happened to be walking by or something. Also, shout out to the composer of 1,001 Farts. That's pretty impressive. Like, that's a long time to curate different fart noises and make a whole spot get listed on Spotify. Imagine the Spotify guy whose job it is to be like, I gotta listen to this fucking fart album to make sure it's real. I gotta put it on here. Well, what are you doing? I'm on 601 fart right now. I got another half hour's worth of work.
Count them to make sure it's legit.
There was only 978 farts on this track. Rejected.
It's kind of hard to tell where some of them start and some of them end. So I'm with Chad. I think this is coolish. Like, in theory, this would have been pretty funny. And there's no one. It's like it's not at anyone's expense, which is, I think, the best kind of prank.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like just fart noise, like, you know, Halloween soundtrack noise, where it's just fart after fart, or if it's kind of like in a symphony of farts and.
Oh, here,
Flight of the Fartlebees.
Found it.
No, it's just fart noises.
Fart sounds over 1,000 farts, 1 hour. You guys can see the artwork right there. Is like a mushroom cloud with a bunch of smiley faces on it. This is very funny. Okay, I'll stop.
All right, number 3. All right, you got to stick with to the end here. Don't. If you laugh at this one, you're a dick.
Okay.
Right, just...
All right, well,
cruelish.
My firm had an office Christmas party with a Hawaiian theme. We all wore leis and grass skirts. It had typical hijinks in full swing. Most people are drunk, and one of the drunks is in asshole mode, going around and lighting people on fire.
Yeah, that's what I think about asshole mode.
It says, well, he did at least twice. The first time they just pat it out, and he giggled and goes back to drinking more booze. One of the guys at the party visits the restroom with a lady friend of his. They're in a stall. I'm sure he was helping her fix her grass skirt or something. An asshole comes into the stall next to them.
His name is Asshole.
He lights the grass skirt on fire, only this time the synthetic material catches fire like the Hindenburg. The guy is burned over 90% of his body. The girl needs significant amount of reconstructive surgery and skin grafts. At least one other person is injured trying to put out the flames. The drunk hole is convicted of manslaughter and assault and sentenced to 2 years in prison, along with having to know for the rest of his life he has committed the most egregious cock block known to man. This is poor burned guy in a victim unit. You fucking cock block.
I was about to have sex. Now I have no face.
That's a stupid line at the end about the cock block. I was like, really?
This is okay to laugh at because it's 100% false. And you know it didn't happen because of that cock block line. It was all set up for him to make the cock block joke. Which was a good joke, I'm not going to lie.
All right, so
Yeah.
You think this is? What do you think about lighting people on fire?
I think lighting a couple of people on fire is a pretty clever prank. Is that what you're asking? Melting his cock into a solid molten block.
Typical asshole stuff.
Yeah. Oh, boys and boys, they get to be mischievous when they set people's clothes ablaze and laugh while they scream.
Wait, what'd that guy do? Yeah, he burned and killed those people. What an ass.
You don't know the worst part. That guy didn't get to come before he got lit on fire. Now his dick is fused to her body. That's terrible. But Chad said these are fake people anyway, so that's fine.
He went from blue balls to burnt balls.
Chad gave me permission.
Chad verified it on Snopes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You should have been kicked out of this party the first time you tried it.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the woman was his wife and he was getting eaten. Probably that doesn't make sense, but I think asshole did a really shitty thing. I say this is cruelish.
With a name like asshole, what do you expect?
Yeah,
Chad, what do you think?
you should kind of see something like this coming when you invite someone whose first name is asshole to your party.
What do you think about this cock block, Chad?
Did you guys ever
Do this now.
Did you guys ever light your socks on fire? Did you ever do that?
I had seen it where it just like passes over the top, burning the little things. Right?
What?
Well, so okay, if you have like cotton socks, like the standard Hanes, like tube socks or whatever they are, crew level socks. No one try this at home, okay? But like they'll accumulate a little layer of lint on the outside. You take like a lighter and just like barely touch it, and you'll see like a little ring of flame just go around the whole sock real quick and take out like all that lint, and then the fire goes out. And I used to like do this to the socks while they were on my feet in college because I thought it was like cool, and I'm also stupid.
I did once go around lighting people's socks while they were nutting into it.
I was gonna say, weren't your socks so crusty that they weren't able to burn off anything?
Yeah, I would crust the socks up and then light them on fire in order to like permanently mold them into that shape, and it was like artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your roommates would come by and like, look at that fucking cock block over there.
Wow, that sock looks like Michelangelo's David, they'd say, at this sperm-covered burnt sock.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is kind of cruelish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Immolation, not great.
Yeah.
In high school, I mixed a bunch of food and drinks in a bottle during lunch to make it look like shit and dumped it in the urinal in the boys' bathroom. I told a bunch of people what I did. 10 minutes later, my friend took a shit on top of the fake shit.
All right, that's pretty cool.
I was called down to the principal's office for shitting in a urinal. So this guy, he's really a victim because he put fake shit, and then once someone has shit on top of the fake shit, you can't be like digging through and being like, see, what I did was the fake stuff underneath.
Look, there's a banana peel in there. Pudding.
All right. So Chad, I guess the prank itself was putting the fake shit in the urinal. So what do you think about that for a prank, Chad?
I don't think that's a very funny prank. Like,
No?
like, all right, the shit in the urinal, ha 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 ha, you know. Shitting on top of the shit. Now that's an A+.
That's a chef's kitchen.
Oh, yeah. That is icing on the turd cake, if you will. So yeah, for the original prank, I'm gonna just go foolish. That's really stupid. But the secondary level prank, that gets a coolish from me.
Okay.
The secondary level prank. Yeah, this guy's a real fucking Riddler. He just took a dump in a urinal.
He took it to the next level.
I do like how the guy was like, "I'll see your shit and raise you," and he just like. I am gonna say these are both cruelers for one reason, is because some poor janitor already was gonna have to clean out like applesauce mixed with balsamic vinegar or whatever the fuck the first one was.
That's a good
but
point.
Now he has to do it with a bunch of lumpy turds on top of it. And that poor guy has a bad enough. He's a high school janitor already. But you know,
applesauce shit.
Well, I don't know what you make shit out of to make what food you combine to make it look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, probably some shit you start with as a base. I just put like
as a base.
Step 1, dig your own turds out of the toilet.
Yeah, I just took some shit
Step
and put
2,
a hot dog on top.
Pour applesauce on your turds. Step 3, place in urinal.
Step
Check
4.
out my fake turd.
Look at this prank. Cue fart noises played on in the background.
Add balsamic as needed.
But I do admire the chutzpah of the kid to be like, oh, he put some. This is finally my chance to take a dump in the urinal. And like went through every toilet to go find it. But so I will say cruelish for both, only because that poor guy has to go clean it.
Yeah. All right, number 5. Some friends and I went to throw water balloons at some girl's birthday party, and I was the getaway driver. After we threw the balloons and soaked a few people, we ran back to our car. Some of the guys caught up with us and jumped on my car as I was driving away. I sped up fast enough so they wouldn't jump off.
That's not the right tack to take.
For water fucking balloons.
I lit their pants on fire.
I was going to let them off at the end of the road, but one of them decided to jump off before I slowed down.
Uh-oh.
I was going pretty fast when he jumped off the top of the car. He ended up slapping the back of his head on the asphalt and got a concussion. He was in the hospital for a few days, and I went to visit him. He ended up losing his sense of taste and smell, and to this day still hasn't completely got it back. He was always a little bit different after that, too. I'm not sure if it was because of a brain injury or he just developed a more laid-back, carefree approach to life.
I think it'd be like, I went and visited him in the hospital. As he lay prone, unable to move, I smashed a water balloon in his face.
Unlike the last time, he didn't seem so mad. He was so laid back and carefree as he drooled onto his chest. As he slowly breathed into his tube, I hate you.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
All right, Geiger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prank. Let's go back in time. The original prank is tossing water balloons.
Yeah, I guess is like...
There's like 3 pranks here. The second level of jumping on the car, and the third level of jumping off the car. All 3 pranks.
I guess I do have a question here. Like, the guy is the one that jumped on the car and jumped off. Like, is that the driver's fault? He was just driving the car.
I mean, you probably don't speed up when someone jumps on your car, unless they
I've
are
never had it happen.
trying to murder you. Or...
Yeah, if you thought he was going to hurt you, I don't know if that was the case or if they're just...
So I don't know who's at fault here. So if we're judging solely on what that guy is to blame, then just a little mischievous water fight, right? But yeah, almost vehicular manslaughter is probably not great. Oh boy, yeah, him and his buddy asshole got in the car and sped off. I'll say this is cruelish, probably because I'm guessing this guy feels he's maybe not telling the whole story, but I think the truth is coming out in that he has rationalized this whole episode to the degree that he's talking himself into this guy just being cooler thanks to his awesome prank. Like, yeah, you know what? I brought out a new side of him. I'm really happy for the guy. I mean,
It all worked out in the end, you know.
I'm surprised you're not more mad at me. It is my carefree approach to life.
It's like, I mean, he thinks his pet squirrel is his dad now, but I mean, whatever. Wouldn't have happened without me.
So what are you giving it?
This is cruelish. This is terrible.
Right. Chad?
So I'm going to go, even just for straight up throwing water balloons at somebody, that's cruelish. I think water balloons are great if you have consented to a water balloon fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think throwing somebody with a water balloon at somebody who's not expecting it, shooting a hose at them, super soaker, any of that stuff when they're not ready for it, not cool. So that's cruelish. But the whole like Fast and Furious segment of it after that, that's kind of cool.
Would you ever get so mad at someone for hitting you with water that you jump on a fucking moving car? Like, what was the end game? I'm gonna wait till he gets home and beat the shit out of him. Just gotta hang on and fucking drive time traffic here.
I didn't give you my fucking consent to throw
This is a wool fucking sweater. It won't dry. By the way, are you planning on stopping for gas at any point? Because I'm got like 9 bugs in my teeth right now.
I'm losing my grip. This is terrifying. Please pull over. Also, it's kind of cold because my shirt's wet.
I wish I had been more laid back as he pulls up.
I'm so worked up because I just get so anxious about life. All that comes my way. I'll never change my ways.
As I'm gripping the edge of this Ford Escape, I'm realizing that certain things in life aren't worth pursuing. Thank you for helping me come to this realization.
By the way, I don't like tasting or smelling.
All right, what do you think, Chad?
Cruelish. Cruelish on that one.
All right. 2 left. All right, this one is fucking bizarre. My brother and I discovered a joke shop on a day trip.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta be funny.
Full of pranks in a joke shop.
Uh-huh.
My mother was a smoker, and we found these explosive cigarette firecrackers.
Oh, boy.
We both bought them knowing how hilarious they would be, but we only had the one person to prank.
Why did you both need to buy them then, you idiots? Maybe just split the cost, I don't know, on one
Now
box.
smoke another one.
From this second box that looks the same, but it's not explosive.
Just wait. So she was driving along, and the first one explodes, and she freaks out. Wasn't as funny as we thought. Later on, another one explodes, and she has a minor meltdown. She flips out on both of us. We don't dare say a word, but we know there's probably one more exploding cigarette in the back. Our dread was probably worse than hers.
Did they mix the cigarettes
it sounds like
in
it,
with her
yeah.
regular cigarettes? Oh,
about
boy.
50 miles from home, the last cigarette explodes. If she yelled at us, it might have been better. Instead, she relit it and kept driving with tears going down her face. The next hour was excruciating as Mom drove and cried. This mom just giving in to the fact that she's going to be smoking an exploding cigarette. So they couldn't, pull the exploding cigarettes out. Just let mom continue to smoke them.
Yeah.
All right. Chad, what do you think?
I mean, you'd think after one, you throw away the pack. You know what I mean?
Like,
there's going to be more in there.
And after the second one, you stop your mom from lighting another one.
Yeah, that's also probably true. Hey, Mom, there's another one in there.
Just staring at you as she lights the one will explode.
I guess this isn't like a big explosion, since she was able to continue driving, after it exploded.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think if it's like those little like firecracker, just like a snap.
That is very funny that she was like just driving in tears
while relighting the exploding cigarette.
I mean, that is a good way to teach those kids that lesson,
Yeah.
Scar them for life. I mean, it was either that she either keep driving or she keep driving with one of them on the roof and then slam on the brakes. And be like, you'll never taste these cigarettes again. Oh boy. I mean, on the one hand, I always enjoy pranking smokers.
Oh yeah.
That's
how they learn their lesson.
Yeah, that's a nice benefit. But I think with one it would have been kind of coolish with one. But then the fact that they sort of like let it go, after the second one it moves to foolish. The 3 cigarettes, now we're into cruelish territory. So, one level down per exploding cigarette. So, yeah, I'm going to go cruelish for this one.
Geiger, you agree?
Not quite. Here's where I'm at. So, it's going to average out. Where your head at? I'm going to average it out to a foolish, and here's why. It is poor planning on their part, right? Because it sounds like they were on some giant fucking road trip. If they were 50 miles from the time the last cigarette was hanging over their head like the Marlboro of Damocles or something, then they should have. Then that's poor planning. Like if you're gonna you got to get in and get out with that. Unless they were worried that it would take a while to get to the one cigarette. Like if you're just stopping over to say hi to mom.
Well, they both bought packs of them. That was
That's true. They were well armed with this,
and they only knew one smoker.
You're right. The other thing though is like Chad hit on it. Like fuck you for smoking, first of all, and second of all, like how it's more pathetic of her than it is on them. Like first of all, you clearly raised asshole kids that thought this was funny, and two. The fact that you are so desperate for a cigarette that you're picking up this scalding, smoking butt off the floor and relighting it and sticking it in your mouth and just staring at them while smoking it, you are pathetically addicted to cigarettes.
Pretty sure there's no actual nicotine in that exploding cigarette, Geiger.
Well, then what was the point?
To teach him a lesson.
What lesson? That your mom's a fucking psycho?
I don't know, but they learned it. They never did it again.
Look, if smoking was easy, your mom would blow Picasso or whatever the fuck the thing was. Oh, no, yeah, no, I fucked that up, right?
So foolish.
It's foolish. I average this out to foolish. I think both sides had some dumb shit to that.
All right, last one. Okay. When I was a little kid, I thought for some reason it would be hilarious to sneak under the table at dinner time and punch my dad straight in the nuts.
I mean, reason. That is
I'm
funny.
on board. I'm on board.
That's funny. Coolish. You can stop reading.
To this day, I vividly remember grinning and pulling back my fist and letting go with all the velocity of a 5-year-old.
A 5-year-old?
Oh, man.
My dad proceeded to take me around the corner and give me the second worst spanking of my life.
Second worst? What's the worst?
I don't punch people in the balls anymore. The worst, the worst is when the dad spanked him off the roof of that car. He lost all taste and smell.
The worst is when I chased a guy who hit my sister with a water balloon.
The pavement
boy.
spanked me in the back of the head.
The worst is when my cellmate Blimpy beat the fuck out of me after I told him I was in jail for lighting a woman on fire in a bathroom stall.
Yeah, you're waiting.
That's horrible. Look,
Which
credit
part?
to getting hit in the nuts. I mean, look, credit to that guy's dad. What a hilarious prank. We're just socking someone in the balls. It is kind of impressive that his dad was able to get up and beat the shit out of him. Like, if that was me, I'd be just buckled for days. Now, maybe he's 5. He didn't quite have the velocity of like a grown man doing a sack attack. But no, that's a cruelish. There's no. What's the funny part? Watching somebody writhe in pain? That's not funny at all.
Then why do so many people watch America's Funniest Home Videos?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh, well, that's
Right.
funny though.
That's nothing but nut shots. It's 30 minutes of nut shots.
If I'm okay, first of all, America's Funniest Home Videos isn't funny, but would it be funny if it was just kids crawling under the table and jackrabbiting someone in the groin over and over again?
Yes, it would be hysterical. It would be the funniest show on TV.
I agree. That'd be pretty.
We got a hit on our hands, boys.
And the Emmy goes to. So, what do you think, Chad?
I've never disagreed with Geiger more vehemently in my entire life.
I hope you get
I do
punched in the
right now.
nuts.
Look, I'm not. Look, if the kid just walked up and like just jacked him in the nuts, like just in walking down the street or something like that, like that's not funny. The
At
fact
least
that he
takes balls.
no, what's funny about it is that he like crawled under the dinner table, with like where the guy was clearly manspreading way too much, leaving himself open. You got to protect yourself at dinner. And,
Right, everyone knows that. Yeah.
Everyone knows that. And then, and so he's 5. Like, how much damage are you going to do? And I'm definitely not taking the side of anyone who then turns around and like spanks their kid, right? Like, I'm not putting up with any of that spanking, especially not the second worst spanking. Now, if it's the third worst spanking, maybe I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, if this
The
was
second
revenge
worst
for the
spanking.
worst spanking, maybe I'd get that.
Yeah. You shouldn't be spanking your kids, so fuck this dad. So I'm gonna go coolish. He deserved the nut shot, I think.
Now, most dads, as you should know, like you put both of your balls into one side of your sack, and then when he punches you, he misses. You just say, "Quit fucking around."
Yeah, that's what you do.
You better, if you're gonna punch me, you better kill me because I'm gonna come get you.
Mhm.
Yeah. What would your guys like, Novak? I'm picturing your dad. If you had just jacked your dad in the nuts, would you still be alive today? Because my dad would have definitely whooped my ass. Like he definitely would have. I love you, Dad, but you would have spanked me pretty hard.
Right. 90% of my body would be covered in burns.
Put on this grass skirt. What? Where's your girlfriend? I don't get what's going on here. Get him real hard, huh? I don't.
My dad would have just like thrown away my birthday presents or something. That's the kind of stuff he would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad would have shit in my urinal.
My dad would have given me an empty pizza box.
All right, so let's move on. We've avoided this as long as possible. Chad, you got the package, so why don't you tell us what we're doing?
Yeah, so this is called Santo Sol Copetones Olla Gigante de Tamarindo. And I guess it was like a 6-pack because it says 6-piece. Look, this also has excessive calories and excessive sugar, so it might be pretty sweet. But here's what we're dealing with. This is a clay pot about the size of like a baseball, maybe a little smaller than a baseball, something like that.
Right.
It's got saran wrap on the top sealing it and a rubber band holding the saran wrap on. You need a spoon to eat this, and here's what Dave said in a text to me. He said, "Mind the seeds and twigs in the clay pot. The seeds are like stone, but the seed casing is edible. I guess that tamarind goo candy all has seeds and twigs in it." So when this candy was made, they forgot to clean the candy machines, or they just made the candy directly on the forest floor.
This looks like fake shit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this looks like urinal prank.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, you could put this in the urinal, and I would go shit on top of it to get someone else in trouble. I really would.
It is like a very sticky goo, almost like molasses consistency.
Yeah.
It seems, and there is a ton. There is a ton of fucking shit in it.
There's seeds and twigs aplenty, or twigs.
What does this smell like? Because I don't have a sense of smell right now because I'm sick.
Did you go chase down some water
Right,
balloon guy?
It smells
hanging
like
off some cars the other day.
like when you have like fruit leather things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like fruit by the foot or something.
My
Ugh.
mom ate the tamarind with tears in her eyes.
It's something sharp.
Probably a
What
rock.
in the living
Oh,
fuck?
fuck! It's like gritty.
Why are there twigs in it?
Dave, look, you're a nice guy, but fuck you, man. David.
The flavor, I actually think, is better than that other tamarind thing that we voted worst of the year last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's better than that.
Is it better than that shitty thing we just ate? The flavor.
I think
I guess we'll find out, but yeah.
Because it really, it's like the stickiness of it itself is like if you tried to make your own like candy in a science project or something where you just heated up the sugar.
You didn't have time to pick out the twigs?
Thing? How do you eat it? Like
carefully.
You just have to like lick around these little stones, or you just put it in your mouth and then like spit half of it out after.
I thought when you mentioned stones and twigs, I thought there would be like a couple mixed in. It's entire
everywhere.
fucking thing.
It's full of foliage.
It's just sticky stones and twigs. That's all it is.
I just found a twig. I almost swallowed it.
Oh, I've definitely swallowed at least one or two things that I'm probably not supposed to.
Oh boy.
I'll have to dig through my shit later and see what I swallowed. I'll be sure to shit in the urinal so that I can see it for sure.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm done with that.
I will say this off the bat.
What will you say?
It's not as nasty tasting as I thought it would be. But my expectations were fucking rock bottom. As low as you can get. That's where I put it in my mind. And because we hated that tamarind candy so much last year.
Yeah, but that one was like spicy, right? Like
yeah.
This one's not spicy at all.
The flavor itself isn't that bad. It's just like sticky sweetness. It just tastes like melted candy. So I don't think the flavor is too bad, but the form, it's almost inedible because of the form. All the sticks and twigs or whatever, they really are just like leaves and stuff. And I'm not sure. Is there any directions on the
Do not eat?
Like, you're supposed to spread this on toast or something? Like, is there anything?
There's no directions at all.
Okay.
But there's only like 4 ingredients, which is tamarind,
sticks,
rocks,
glucosa,
sugar,
azucar,
that's
which
sugar.
I think is also sugar, and chili. So they neglected to mention debris as an ingredient.
So because I could find my way through this and I could lick the spoon and feel fine about it, I'm not actually going to put it in a hate dat. I don't think it deserves a hate just because of the crappy form factor. So the taste is not hate worthy. So I'm going to just give it a dislike dat. It still does have a chance to tie though if Geiger really feels awful.
Tie for the loss.
This thing, like you mentioned, coming out the gate, was looking like the worst thing we've ever consumed on this podcast. Like unmarked clay pot full of yard waste and goo. And It's still very bad. I don't like the taste of tamarind that much, but the flavor, as Novak said, wasn't as putrid as I was expecting. It's all about what it is, and that is goo you're eating out of a jar that has like hard pieces in it that you could choke on that don't taste good. And it is kind of gritty. It's like a weird, like you could see the sugar in it, almost in it. And I guess I don't understand. I would never just eat like a jar of jelly or jam on its own. So why would I eat this plain? That's why I wonder, like Novak said, if you're supposed to spread this across like a piece of toast and then pick out the stones later. I am going to give this a dislike that as well. I don't think it's a hate. It's real, real bad. But it at least, like, I would eat this 1,000 times more than I would those Nopalias or whatever they're called.
So it can't lose, but still gonna end up with a pretty shitty score. Chad, what do you think?
I'm oh boy, I am really surprised and quite frankly disappointed in you guys. Just looks fucking nasty. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? That
we
you
don't like it.
Which would you rather eat? This one? I know you're going to give it a hate based on what we both just said. But of these two, which would you rather eat?
I would rather eat the chili limon because I can eat the chili limon. Like, it is physically possible to eat that without like stopping every 2 seconds to like pull inedible stuff out of my teeth. You know what I mean? Like, if you took a Reese's cup and you filled half of it with cement, like, I wouldn't want to eat that. I wouldn't be like, well, but the flavor of the Reese's cup around the cement is all right. You know what I mean? Like, there's fucking cement in it. It's a hate dad. So this thing, the form factor is the problem. You can't eat this easily or really at all. And everything mixed in with it, like, it was like cutting my gums as I was like trying to do it. And so I ended up just taking these like little licks. And I'm like, this thing would take me a year and a half to get all this candy out of.
Cutting your gums? You have razor blades in yours?
Some of it is really sharp. Like, some of the pieces are that I got in my mouth when I just like took a bite of a spoonful or whatever. So this is a hate that for me. It's disgusting.
Wow.
Okay.
You need to take a more carefree approach to life, I think. So
somebody lobotomize me real quick so I can enjoy this clay pot.
Look at that guy in a coma. He's just soaking it all in.
Nothing phases him. Watch. I'll snap right in front of his face.
So, 2 dislikes and a hate. The Doritos, the very clear winner today.
Wow.
That's right, everybody. Don't eat goo out of a pot or shitty sour canned chips. Eat Doritos.
I mean, it does seem like they shouldn't be particularly proud of the. It's like sort of, what is it? Is the term Pyrrhic victory or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like, but they were like legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
They were,
in another episode that they could still win against some good competitions.
Yeah. All right, Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
Yeah, if you've ever pulled off a hilarious prank that didn't involve like jacking someone in the balls or like ending their life or giving them a much more relaxed outlook on the world, you can give us a call at... Don't give us a call. Why don't you fucking saying give us a call? There's no phone number. And although, let's be frank, if you're listening, you're probably like related to one of us who would probably have our phone numbers. But you can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We have a Facebook account, our Facebook group called You Tried Dat. We are on Twitter, hashtag You Tried Dat. Let us know what you think of our ratings. Suggest snacks that we should try. Ask a question for the mailbag. Do all that kind of stuff. If you do like us, we'd love to leave a review or some stars or any sort of thing like that. That would let other people know that we're kind of funny. And if you do appreciate the podcast, it'd be great if you could tell your friends and family so they could, they could figure out some great pranks to pull on you next April Fool's.
Don't you think shitting in a urinal would be very difficult to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on how high the urinal is, right? Like, if it's kind of a low one, you could get a good squat.
Well, it's more like people coming in. Like, when would you do it?
I just meant physically.
Oh
yeah,
no,
people
you just turn
if
around
you're
and shit.
gonna if you've decided to shit in the urinal, I think you're a person that's gonna realize you're gonna be okay if someone happens to walk in. I mean, this is the point in life you're at.
They took the doors off the bathrooms in my high school because some kid kept shitting in the sinks. I don't know why taking the
Nice.
doors off would help because it's not like you could see right in. It's like extra like supervision or whatever. But yeah, I think it was some kid in my grade because he kept telling everyone he did it. I don't know why he admitted to it, but yeah.
Which of those pranks would you most want to do? Is it the shit in the urinal, or I guess it's probably the pizza box one, huh?
It's the fart one by far. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. That would be funny.
And easily able to do, especially now that I know the songs they use.
The song. Yes, the song.
I don't mind throwing water balloons at someone. It's the later.
Which one of the pranks and which one of the ramifications would you like?
Right. But you were really against that having water balloons thrown at you, Chad. Do you have some water balloon?
No, I just don't want to like. I just don't want to like be soaking wet when I wasn't planning to be soaking wet. I don't think that's an unreasonable desire on my part to like want
How
to
many
stay
water
dry.
balloons did they hit you?
Soaking wet. Would you rather be soaking your bed sheets in the hospital later when you can't get out of bed?
I'd rather be. Look, I'd rather be soaking wet. Like, the time to be throwing the water balloons is directly after you light my grass skirt on fire. Then you can hit me with water balloons. I'm okay with that then. But otherwise, keep them away.
Where were you when I needed you? I couldn't smell the smoke of my grass skirt.
And plus, then you could continue having sex throughout all that. Just she's lit on fire. She's doused out with the water. You just keep going.
But yeah, it's like being in the shower or whatever.
Just like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you get hit with a water balloon. You don't need a shower that day. You're nice and clean.
Have either of you guys actually ever tried to have sex in a public place like that? A stall or something?
A stall? Jesus.
A bathroom stall? No.
I'm not interested in that. I would not. I would definitely not be able to perform. Let's just put it that way.
I can't perform with a burning grass skirt.
In the middle of a luau. I'm trying to think. I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe. I fucked in a Taco Bell. I don't know.
Maybe I canoodled in a morgue. No, I think it was...
Yeah, one time we banged while hanging onto the roof of a car at 50 mph, you know.
You've never done it until you tried it. I think we banged in my laundry room at my apartment building one time. So it's technically a shared space. It was pretty dirty and dingy down there, too.
Yeah, that sounds fucking nasty. I'm not going to lie.
It wasn't really all that worth it.
The roof of the car. Just in the same hospital bed.
We're both content. I'm not.
Yeah, one time we both crawled into the same pizza box, and you know.
Hey, Dad, I got you 2 people fucking. There's nobody in here. Quit fucking around.
All right, let's call it there. We'll be back next time, trying out 3 brands.
Deuces.
Yep.